British?
Poland. I don't know a Polish accent.
No, you don't know. Just don't do Polish. Don't do Poland. We don't know Poland very well. All right.
It's pretty awesome.
It is May 26, 2017. I'm going to watch my hair.
I love her.
Today's Friday.
I love her.
Welcome to Resistance Chicks. We are your hosts, Leah and Michelle, if you did not know that already.
Okay, this Polish Prime Minister, after the Manchester attack, she lays down the smack like you have never seen.
She has launched a blistering attack on the political elites of Europe in the wake of the Manchester terror attack, warning the continent must put in place strong politicians willing to tackle the threat or risk, crying over your children.
If you haven't seen our video on the Polish March, Google it. These Polish people, they're awesome.
Christians. They're very fervent.
Nie będziemy uczestniczyć w szaleństwie.
Hang on, wait though. People have asked us to turn the volume down when we read over subtitles because they can't hear us.
But no, you have to hear the clapping and stuff. It's really
okay.
Fine.
It's awesome. Right. You have to get over it.
We will read them to you
in English.
Nie będziemy.
Go ahead. We are not going to take part in it. The madness of the Brussels elite. We want to help people, not the political elites.
Listen to the pause.
I have a courage. I have a courage to say. And I have a courage to ask all European political elites a question. Where are you headed? Where are you headed, Europe? Rise from your knees and from your lethargy, or you will be crying over your children every day. If you cannot see this, if you cannot see that today terrorist danger is a fact that can hurt every country in Europe, and you think that Poland should not defend itself, you are going hand in hand with those who point this weapon against the Europe, against all of us. And it needs to be told clearly and directly, this is an attack on Europe, on our culture, our tradition. Why am I talking about that? Why am I talking about that? That is a good question. Because all of us in this room have to answer the question. But all people have to answer the question in Europe. Do we want politicians that claim that we have to get used to attacks, or who describe terrorist attacks as incidents? Or do we want strong politicians that can see a danger and can fight against it effectively? I think it said efficiently.
This girl just rocked it. I mean, seriously, she is awesome.
Yeah.
I guess it's a picture of her with Merkel, dude, man. So Szwedo's government is currently locked in a battle with Brussels over commission plans for every member state who has signed up to the Common European Asylum System,
to take in a quota of migrants from Greece and Italy as a solidarity measure.
So the previous Polish government agreed in 2015 to take in about 5,000 migrants. The commitment increased by the EU to 6,200, but Szydolo's administration reversed that decision upon taking power and has promised instead to give aid to people in refugee camps in the Middle East. Brussels has responded by issuing threats of sanctions if no migrants are taken by June. The same threat has been made to Hungary. Now, they have offered to help people.
Right.
Why we need to do stuff for the migrants, why Europe is responsible for the Middle East, why Saudi Arabia isn't responsible, why Iran isn't responsible, why...
well, Saudi Arabia really can't help the migrants because they're too poor. They don't have any money over there because they have this king and he's just got a couple of bucks.
Why the United Arab Immigrants isn't responsible? Why the Muslim countries aren't responsible, but all the Christian countries are responsible for Muslims, but the Muslim countries aren't responsible for Christians. They can't even keep them alive in Egypt.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Well said.
They don't even want to. They don't want to keep the Christians alive in Egypt. They want to massacre them. It is the Saudi Arabian government. It's Iran. Oh, Saudi Arabia and Iran, they're fighting. No, they fight like they bicker like brother and sister. But then they want to take everybody else out. I'm getting out my angry eyes, you guys.
You definitely got them out.
Now, as always,
I'm scared.
The United States, Great Britain and the West, they have stirred up a bee's nest. They've stirred up a wasp nest and created all kinds of madness and all kinds of war, and we cover that. Iraq, Syria, Libya. I get it. Okay? We get it. We cover both sides.
Right.
However, people in Europe are dying, okay, because the deep state messed up and, well, did it on purpose and stirred up a bunch of bees. Now, here's the thing. If a guy goes and stirs up my nest of bees, I got to blame the guy.
Right.
But then if bees are starting to go massacre people, then we got to take care of the bees.
Right.
And that's exactly what's happening with Muslim terrorism.
Do we have to call them bees, though?
We like bees.
We like bees. Can't we call them wasps?
I don't care what you call them, but sometimes you got to get out your wasp spray if they're coming to attack you and kill your kids. Okay,
Yep.
so we're on two fronts here. And Europe is being attacked. Christians are being attacked on a
Yep.
daily basis. Atheists are being attacked. Christian countries are being attacked by these. And so, yes, people don't want to talk about both issues.
Right.
People don't want to talk about the fact that the deep state, 7 countries in 5 years, messed up things, worked on weak minds who go and want to blow people up, push the ideology, the petrodollar, and all that junk. But Saudi Arabia is not our friend. It was so crazy. What boggles my mind is Russia is our friend.
Right.
We have some disagreements with Russia. We've had a past with Russia. There's people in Russia who are still communists, but they're changing, right?
Right.
We have more in common with Russia when we do with Saudi Arabia, but everybody's cool. Clinton takes money from Saudi Arabia. Trump just went over there, but Trump laid down a law to Saudi Arabia.
However, I mean, Trump is still going after the money, essentially. Right. And I actually want to read something, and I was going to wait until our live feed tonight to read it.
You can read it twice.
But our friend Stacy from Rosa Sharon Homestead, you'll see her comment a lot. She's a really, really good friend of ours. She had sent us a link by the Patriot Nurse. I'm not going to read that. Well, maybe I'll put a link in the description. Like, Trump, what are you doing? I mean, he's arming the Saudis and he's pressuring Israel. And Stacey's like, my red flags are going up everywhere. And this is what I said. I said, listen, it's a huge warning to me. And this really is the kicker for Trump. But it's sort of like the church or the body of Christ. We may walk the walk and go to our pro-life rallies and wear our Christian t-shirts. We may even speak out against homosexuality. But don't you dare touch our money or our jobs or our birth control. And in that same vein, Trump knows that without Saudi Arabia, all of the American economy crumbles to nothing within hours. We are talking starvation, homelessness, no more dollar bill, essentially Armageddon. Okay? In all honesty,
I'm
it's going to
prepared
happen.
for that. Are you prepared for that?
We're ready for it. It is going to happen.
If you want the United States to cut off relations with Saudi Arabia, everything in your life
that you know
goes
as
down
comfort.
the toilet. It's all fake money.
It
and
is.
It's only propped up by the petrodollar
Right.
with Saudi Arabia.
Right.
If Saudi Arabia stops, our dollars won't be worth anything.
Right.
Your dollars, you may have $1 million in savings. If the value of the dollar drops because the petrodollar is no more,
Right.
then you don't have any money. You don't have credit. You have nothing.
Everybody wants to know
You
why.
don't have running water. You don't have electricity.
Right. I think they get that. But what most of you, I think, even if you are red-pilled, don't understand, and because you're going to get angry at Trump, and you're going to be like, why is Trump playing friendly with the Saudis? Because if he does not, and you guys need to hear me loud and clear, and I'm not saying that Trump should. I'm ready for it to fall. I think he should not play friendly with the Saudis.
But I'm prepared to gather my own water. And
Exactly.
I'm prepared. Are you prepared? You're not prepared. You would rather this continue, the war
But you'd
continue.
rather speak out against Trump for playing friendly with the Saudis without understanding what is going to happen when the American dollar falls, and that will be
when we got on the petrodollars in the 1970s, we sold our soul to the devil so that we could have all this
and
stuff.
so Trump
all
is
this
in the
free
office.
credit.
Oh yeah, being able to put things on your credit card, these mortgage loans,
The credit
refinance
cards
in your
didn't
house.
exist. 0% credit, it didn't exist.
Right.
Before the petrodollar. They were able to print extra money because of the petrodollar. It's all fake.
And this all started in 1913 with the inception of the Federal Reserve, but it just keeps exploding into things. So what you guys need to understand, those of you that want to speak out against Trump playing friendly with Saudi Arabia, you need to be ready for what is going to happen when the dollar falls, because whether Trump plays friendly with Saudi Arabia, it's gotten too far. We've gone too far. It is going to collapse. Leah's alarm is going off. And I'm telling you guys that Trump really doesn't have a choice in this. He does actually have a choice, but the choice that I would have him make would have him going down in history as the worst president of the United States that let the American dollar fall and collapse and bring about the worst depression that mankind pretty much has ever seen. Okay, that is what we're looking at here. You guys I don't think you kind of want to grasp it, but you don't really grasp the importance and the significance of this.
Because when it comes down to it, you would choose, and I know you would choose.
You would choose having your refrigerator and your comforts and your new cars and your television and your resistance chicks.
Those 7 countries in 5 years?
Yep.
Were so that you could have the credit to have all your stuff.
Right.
All the fake money.
Because I have so many friends, and I know I have viewers, and I don't want this to come across harshly, you guys, but I'm sorry, I mean it. You all tell us, that's so great that you guys do farming, and I'm so happy for you, but I can't touch the dirt. And we have men saying this. I couldn't kill an animal. I can't grow my own food. I just don't have a green thumb. How many of you that are watching Resistance Chicks have said those things, all right? But I'm telling you, when the Pilgrims got here in 1620, and they had to lay their lives down for their children to be able to survive, they didn't have the luxury to say, I don't have a green thumb, or I can't kill an animal. All right, so here we are at this apex of life where we are willing to sell out the lives of every other human being in the world for us to be able to drink their blood and have the nice things that we have. And we have built this pyramid on sticks.
Everybody wants to blame the corporate companies, but you don't understand. They drop down everything to us too to keep us appeased.
Exactly.
So you have, the evil corporatists, and we're stuck in this craziness where we use this stuff, and they appease us through all the stuff that we have.
They keep us blind. They keep us willfully ignorant, while we, in America especially, our poorest of poor live better than the rich in many other countries.
Right.
Okay, we have electricity, we have running water,
and it's all because we are able to print fake money, and we made this deal that the dollar would stay steady. However, it's like counterfeit money. Our dollar didn't stay steady, so we take advantage of other people. Now, other bankers in Europe have caught on. They're able to print their own money too, but some countries aren't. African nations aren't.
And what they don't want is people like Leah and Michelle, Resistance Chicks, bringing you guys the truth that this is actually happening, because they have built this house of cards, and they want you completely ignorant that it is a house of cards.
So when you think to yourself, would I rather starve to death, or have to work for a living and have to grow my own food?
Or do
I want 1 million people dead in Iraq? And I guarantee you, a good portion of you would say, well, I'll take the 1 million people dead in Iraq.
Exactly. Or they would say, well, it doesn't have to be that choice. Right now, where we're at, in today's day and age, that is the choice.
Because
that's the only choice.
When you're on the gold standard, you had to have a value for your work. Right now, people do busy work. It's not real work.
Right.
Because it's fake money, and they just throw it around. Banks throw around fake money.
I'm sorry. When you go to work and you sit behind a desk, that is busy work. Real work is actually doing a manual labor job that gets something done. That is a value. That is what gold and silver is. Those are commodities. You're actually making something. But when everything is built on credit, you can buy and sell things that have zero value. There is no value behind it.
The whole credit system is made up, you guys. It's fake money. It's make-believe.
It is a giant bubble that we keep blowing more and more and more air into, and everybody keeps telling the poor, ignorant American people that don't worry, because we'll just make more latex in the balloon and it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Because you can't see past your nose to other countries that have caught on.
Right.
You know, why
Russia
Iran
has caught on.
Iran doesn't want to be on the dollar standard,
the petrodollar.
And Russia's pulling out. They're trying to get on the gold standard again.
Right.
So we'll wrap this up. This is our wheelhouse. This is what all the news wraps around.
Right.
It's all about this. I mean, it's all corporatism. I know, plutocracy and all these things. They just want to tax the 1%. Right. But you know what? It's fake money. Anyways, it doesn't exist.
And that's the problem, and I'm gonna throw a wrench in the whole spill, because I think that our Bernie supporters and socialists have gone with us this far. Yeah, you guys are so right. The problem is socialism only exists in capitalism. because without capitalism,
Crony capitalism.
it has to be crony capitalism, because without crony capitalism, you don't have all this fake money in which to throw out to people to create fake
You're
things.
literally having to work with your hard-earned hands, and there is a finite amount of hours that you
Right.
can put into
Exactly.
to pay for things.
Right.
So then you're back down to good charity, to people actually like making clothes for people,
Right.
or giving
We just want to
home
throw
canned
free
food to people.
Right. We want to throw money at the poor, fake dollar bills at the poor, but we actually don't want to have to quilt something for the poor, or can food for the poor, or go do a service for the poor. We want to just be able to throw everybody else's money at them, and that is the wrong way to go about it.
Well, without the corporate crony corporatism, you don't have the social money programs.
Exactly.
You actually have to do one-on-one social help, which is what Christians have always done.
And what Christians need to get back to.
Exactly.
All right, you guys, we're going to sign off there.
Whoa.
Wasn't that really fun? This is Leah Michelle for Resistance Chicks, where it's not a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring that bell for notifications. Find us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We love you. God loves you. And God bless.
And by the way, the Bible says not to let your left hand know what your right hand does when you're giving. But I can tell you what, since I was a baby, my mom has taught me to take care of people even when you don't have the money to take care
Right.
of other people. If there's one person or one rung below you, then you go without food or you share your food.
And I want to throw another wrench one more time into the churches. That doesn't mean going and giving your 10% to the church. I'm sorry. People are going to get so mad at me. Keep your daggum 10% and give it to the poor single mom down the street.
Exactly.
Stop giving it to these corporate churches that waste money like the government does. Stop
It's the
it.
middleman. Take out the middleman.
Take out the middleman, and you'll be able to directly affect someone's life. And not only will it affect their life, it'll affect you and change you from the inside out, because giving is a blessing.
Right.
The end.
I was cold all alone. No place for